It is so hard to manage anxiety levels when you're in the midst of a fair recovery, and I understand that. I struggled with that quite a bit, and one of the questions I get a lot from clients is, how do I manage this, especially when it pops up in times when I have no time for this, right? Like at work, driving a car, you're with the kids or with extended family, and suddenly, for no reason you can think of, suddenly your anxiety is running out of control and your heart is racing. This is why we don't eat or sleep very well during this time, is because the part of our brain that manages fear and emotion is triggered by our trauma. So anxiety is a very real thing, and really, in a nutshell, what anxiety tends to be is our thinking about things that are out of our control and creating worst case scenarios. So our brain a lot of times creates these anxiety-ridden scenarios, and that's what gets our heart racing. That's what gets us spinning out of control, is because our brain has gone on this journey down a rabbit hole, and it's thinking about future events that we don't really know the answer to, but of course we're going to create the worst case scenario. So then anxiety triggers. So how can we combat this? One real way we can do this, and this is something I had to put into practice, and it's not super easy, but the more you do it, the better it gets, is that you find a way to be truly and completely present in the moment. And here's what that means. I'm standing on this beautiful beach right now. Let's say I was having some type of anxiety, and I needed to really calm down. My heart was racing. I wasn't feeling well. And for me, it usually was racing heart. I had a hard time breathing, and my stomach was queasy. So let's say I was having all of those. The way I would be fully present in the moment would be to really engage my five senses. And I'd start with the largest organ on my body, which is my skin. What do I feel? Well, today happens to be a relatively cool day, so I would calm myself as best I could by breathing and focusing on what I feel. I feel the wind. I feel the wind blowing in my face. And if I were out, the sun is out today. If I were out in the sun, I would focus on the warmth of the sun on my skin, the cool breeze against my skin, how beautiful it feels. So I would focus on my skin, my touch, that sense of touch. Then what am I hearing? I would focus on the sound of the waves and how beautiful. I love that sound, how soothing that sound is. I would focus on the sound of the seagulls overhead chirping, the children laughing right over here down the beach. I would focus on what I hear. I would focus on what I see. What do I see happening? I would focus on what I see. What do I smell? What am I smelling? What's happening out here? Oh my gosh, the smell of the ocean is just amazing. So you focus on your senses, if that makes sense. All of your senses. Focus as best you can on what is happening around you. That is amazing, because what it does is it pulls the brain out of this rabbit hole where they are creating these future possible scenarios is triggering your anxiety. It pulls it out of there and pulls it into the present moment, where there is nothing in the world to be anxious about. There's nothing. There's a beautiful beach. There's nothing but peace right here in this moment. So when you find yourself spinning like that, find a peaceful place where you can do that same thing, where you can sit there and go, what am I hearing? What am I smelling? Go through all of your senses. See if that helps you. And I know that sounds really, really, like if you're in the middle of a work meeting, how am I supposed to do that? You'll actually get so good at it where you can just quietly sit there, and in your mind you can roll through this and nobody knows what you're doing. It's really quite amazing. I've gotten so good at it, I don't think anybody realizes that I'm sitting there going through my senses just to pull myself down from an anxious moment. I hope this has been helpful to you, and if you did find this helpful, I invite you to join my Facebook group. The link is right below. I would love an opportunity to get to know you better there in that group, and we have other members of the group who have a lot to contribute as well. So please take a moment and join. I also have a free guide I'd love to share with you, and the link is right below as well. Feel free to click on that, and that's just got some more helpful tools that might be beneficial to you during this time of healing. And then finally, I'd love an opportunity to coach you through this process. So if you'd like a call just to see what I can do to help, the call is completely free, and the link to sign up to have a call with me is below as well. So I hope this has been a great tool. Put it in your back pocket, use it when you need it, and until next time, good luck with everything.